This is the only secret to success. It's one of those sayings that sound so simple, yet most people don't follow it. So, today I want to share with you what happens when you do just 1 to 2 hours of pure focus every day. We all know this deep down. The reason why we go unfocused for even 30 minutes without getting distracted is because of how society has designed our brains. If you can't, then you're doomed to fail. What happens when you do just 1 to 2 hours of pure focus every day? You begin to train your brain how to focus. When you first start training your brain, it will be very difficult to go for even 10 minutes without getting distracted. It is the ability to enter into a state of flow where you are completely immersed in your work. When you first start training your brain, it will be difficult to do deep work. When you train your brain to focus, you will become more self-aware, because you will be more aware of your thoughts and emotions and how they affect your behavior. They are always trying to find ways to innovate and disrupt industries. However, most people overlook one of the most important competitive advantages, which is the ability to focus. When you train your brain to focus, you develop a competitive advantage over others who do not train their brain to focus. This is because when you are able to focus on your work, you are able to produce more work in less time. You may not see results immediately, but if you stick with it, you will eventually get there. In this video, I share with you 10 tips that will help you improve your focus. Remember that when you focus, you are able to accomplish more, work faster, and produce higher quality work. In addition, when you focus, you are less likely to make mistakes. So, if you want to be successful, make sure to focus on your work. I appreciate you watching this video, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you, and goodbye. These tips are based on the latest research in neuroscience and psychology, so make sure to check out this video if you want to improve your focus. I have been practicing this for years, and I can tell you from experience that it works. If you can focus for just 1 to 2 hours every day, you will eventually reap the rewards. You are also able to work faster and more accurately when you focus. In addition, when you are focused, you are less likely to make mistakes. This gives you another competitive advantage. So if you want to succeed in whatever field you are in, make sure to train your brain to focus. This will give you a major competitive advantage over the competition. For example, when you are focused on your work and you feel a strong emotion come up, you will be more aware of it. It is the ability to come up with solutions to problems that have not been thought of before. This should go without saying, but when you are able to focus on your work, you are more likely to be successful. This is because when you are focused, you are able to get more done. You are also able to work faster and more accurately when you focus. In addition, when you are focused, you are less likely to make mistakes. All of these factors contribute to success. So, if you want to be successful, make sure to train your brain to focus. When you train your brain to focus, you will become more creative because you will be able to think more clearly. You will be amazed at how much more productive you can be. You will be able to accomplish so much more in such a short period of time. In addition, you will find that you enjoy focusing more than being distracted. This is because when you train your brain to focus, it starts to produce more dopamine, which is the neurotransmitter that makes you feel good. So when you focus, you will feel good. This is why focusing becomes more enjoyable than being distracted, and come up with new ideas that others have not thought of. This is because when you are focused, you are able to think without distractions. This allows your mind to wander and explore new ideas. In addition, when you are focused, you are able to think deeply. This allows you to come up with insights that others have not thought of. You will be able to observe the emotion without judgment and then decide how to best deal with it. This is why people who meditate regularly are often more self-aware than people who do not meditate. Meditation is a form of training your brain to focus. When you meditate, you learn how to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This makes you more self. However, once you begin to train your brain, then it will become easier to do deep work. And when you are able to do deep work, you will enjoy it. You will find that you are able to get into a state of flow where you are completely immersed in your work, and time seems to fly by. This is because when you are in a state of flow, you are in a state of intense focus and complete immersion in what you are doing. When you are in a state of flow, you are able to lose yourself in your work and forget about everything else going on around you. Time seems to fly by and you are able to get a lot done. But once you train your brain, then it becomes easier to go for longer periods of time. Impulsivity is the tendency to act without thinking about the consequences of your actions. Impulsivity is often driven by instant gratification. This is why impulsivity is more likely to occur when you are bored or when you are in the presence of distractions. When you are bored, you are more likely to seek out distractions because you are looking for instant gratification. When you train your brain to focus, you will become less impulsive because you will be less likely to seek out distractions. This is because you will be less bored when you are focused on your work. And when you are focused on your work, you are more likely to think about the consequences of your actions before taking them. Technology has made us into instant gratification junkies, where we are constantly bombarded by notifications and distractions that break our focus. 1 to 2 hours of pure focus every day will change your life. When you are able to focus on your work, you will get more done. This is because you will not be wasting time on distractions. You will also be able to work faster since you will not be distracted. And when you finish your work, you will feel satisfied and accomplished. In order to succeed at anything, you need to be able to concentrate on the task at hand. When you train your brain to focus for longer periods of time, here are some things that happen. When you first start out, you will enjoy being distracted much more than focusing on your work. But once you begin to train your brain, then it becomes more enjoyable to focus on your work instead of being distracted. This is because your brain starts to produce more dopamine. When you focus on your work, dopamine is a neurotransmitter in the brain that makes you feel good. So when your brain produces more of it, you will feel better. This is why focusing on your work becomes more enjoyable than being distracted. No. 2. You become more productive. Number 3. You start to enjoy deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. 4. You become less impulsive. No. 5. You become more self-awareness is the ability to understand your own thoughts and emotions, and how they affect your behavior. 6. You develop a competitive advantage. Everyone is always looking for ways to get ahead of the competition. 7. You become more creative. Creativity is the ability to generate new ideas. No. 8. You are more successful. If you practice this for 30 days, here is what will happen. So if you want to improve your focus and be more productive, then start by practicing just 1 to 2 hours of pure focus every day. And if you are looking for ways to improve your focus, I suggest that you check out this video right here. I hope this video has inspired you to start focusing more on your work.